Mr. Bones is very strong. Mr. Bones is never wrong. Mr. Bones, he has no nose. Mr. Bones, he has no clothes. Mr. Bones, he has no nose. Mr. Bones, he has no clothes. Mr. Bones, he has no hair. Mr. Bones, he doesn't care. Mr. Bones is made of bones. That is why he's Mr. Bones. Mr. Bones, he's made of bones. That is why he's Mr. Bones. Mr. Bones is very strong. Mr. Bones is never wrong. Mr. Bones, he has no nose. Mr. Bones, he has no clothes. Mr. Bones, he has no hair. Mr. Bones, he doesn't care. Mr. Bones is made of bones. That is why he's Mr. Bones. Mr. Bones is very strong. Mr. Bones is never wrong.
Got the flags on the tall, we are already packed. The family's decked out in garnet and black. Got meat on the menu, I smoke it real slow. Been on it since Thursday, now it's ready to go. These are the days we are blessed with, just a few times a year. So forever to thee, Carolina is here. From the swamps and the PB to up where the mountains yawn, celebrating these game days because they don't last that long. Yes, and they'll be gone. The gathering started, the drinking a meal. The sons and the daddies are tossing the pill. These are the days we are blessed with, just a few times a year. So forever to thee, Carolina is here. From the swamps in the PB up where them mountains yawn, celebrating these game days because they don't last that long. Yeah, soon they'll be gone. It's Mad Dog and JC, you already know. So come on, let's go. It's the Carolina Football Tailgate Show. Tailgate Show.
Welcome in, everybody, inside the. It's the Tailgate Show. Woo! Not what day it was. Sorry, I'm doing three things here. Yes, I'm working on the Fab Five. It will be up here very soon. So we'll have a hot 3-hour window to really get it in here before the games kick off. But that's fine. It is what it is.
Technical issues all week this week.
It's been really wild. I may leave it open. I don't think any of these are noon kicks though, JC.
You got Ole Miss, Oklahoma.
Ole
on
Miss.
there?
No,
No,
because I think Texas, Mississippi State is
11:45. Maybe no. I don't. I thought that was a mid-afternoon.
Yeah, I think that's an afternoon one. So
I'll get that information for you right now, sir.
Yeah, and I'll throw it out there, and I'll let.
I do the pick'ems on. No, Ole Miss, Oklahoma's not on there. As Auburn, Arkansas is on there.
No.
Yeah, it is. I think.
No, we got Missouri Vandy, Texas Mississippi State, A&M LSU, and then 2 props from our game.
Oh, so yeah.
So you got time. Yeah. I'll leave it open till 3, so we'll have a few extra hours to get it in there.
Fret not, good people.
That's right.
It's coming. You know,
plenty of time.
Yeah, want to start off. Sorry for the rant yesterday. It was funny because right when the show was ending, I got a call from 24/7 Sports. It was unrelated to that
Right.
completely, but my butt got a little tight because I was
Right.
like, "Oh, I hope
Oh.
you never know." I'm like, I'm about to get canceled because of that person, but
Ah,
what I'm gonna just, I had a friend in high school, uh, and this guy was talking. Finally, he just looked at him and said, "Shut up, I'm not your friend." So it's going to kind of be my answer from now on about that
shut
particular
up, I'm not your
situation.
friend.
But and I also wanted to make clear one more thing before we get rolling here, Phil. I am fine with. I don't want you guys to think, although it came off thin-skinned, I do not want you folks to think you could never criticize things I say. I am perfectly fine with that. I say stupid stuff like everybody else that follows this sport. I had a hot take in the spring. Ty Simpson wouldn't be the starting quarterback today. How right was that? And I get a few right, but I'm not infallible. And so if it's about the work and all that, please. What set me off yesterday, it wasn't an attack on an opinion or it wasn't challenging anything I said. It was just straight up a lie. And when all week you've done nothing but be critical and yet very rarely even talked about the game, just to come in there and say that was, and for those that don't know, John Edward comes in to the chat box and says, you guys
through Twitter
are not critical of the coaches because you have personal relationships with them. I've never met Mike Shula. I may have met him once back in the day when he's coaching at Alabama briefly. That was it. Knew some of his staff there. I don't, it doesn't matter, so I just want to make that clear and want to make it clear, all of you folks out there that consume. I don't even care if you don't like what we do. If you say it, there was a guy that called me smug because of a coffee episode because I took a little shot at the ACC. I think I said exactly Clemson's been losing to SMU and Syracuse while Carolina's been losing to Oklahoma and LSU. That's an undeniable fact, but the person, Gamecock fan from 1961, made a mistake of reading the comments. And I was just like, whatever, bro, that's fine. If it's about ball, take me to task. I'm not going to get mad. You're not going to get that reaction out of me. But there's a line you should never cross. And it's not just him. I mean, he's very insignificant. It's society these days. Right. And when you get on Twitter and see the things people say, and you want to talk about smug and self-important, I mean, we're in a world now, and you see it sometimes with some of these protests and stuff where people don't understand that you act like that, you can get punched in the face. There's no consequence to getting online and trashing people and even lying and making it up. And so that was part of my rant yesterday. And then plus the technical issues and stuff never helped me. And that's nobody's fault. That's our friends at StreamYard. So anyway, we'll get started. Enough of that. Just wanted to apologize. I'm not apologizing for going off on that individual. I'm apologizing to my audience because there's a good chunk of you that don't want to hear it.
Right. Yeah.
And Debbie James says Shula's tearing the Gamecock family apart. No, I've been critical of Shula all week, and I've flat out said this isn't going to work over and over. And I've said it over and over. What I'm not going to do is call him a bum and attack him personally and say he's a loser and that's no substance. And what gets me is some people like that person that came to the chat, he has no substance at all. He couldn't tell you probably what an I formation is.
Right.
No substance. It's just he sucks, they suck. And I don't think you'd listen for very long if that's what me and Phil and JB and everybody else said all over and over again. He sucks, he's great. He sucks, he's great.
There's enough of that content out there that, and typically if you're here, you're not down with that.
It's crazy. So how we do it on the tailgate show here? Enough of that. Enough of that. And by the way, it's going to be a quicker show today because I have to get to a funeral. Don't worry. It's not, I've been to some funerals lately, but it's a friend of my wife's. So we got to go to the temple and do some prayers. And then there's a nice buffet meal afterward.
Hey.
all wrap up before kickoff. So that's great. But name and hometown, where are you watching the Gamecocks from today? By the way, if Phil is willing, this will be up on podcast format afterward.
Yeah, I'll get it up there
because it's a later kickoff. And so we're excited about that. So you can listen before the game. We don't do that on noon kickoffs and early kickoffs, but we'll definitely do it anything after that this year on the Tailgate Show. Matt's in first. He says, morning, y'all. Cox win a close stunner or lose by 35. Either way, happy game day. Yeah, that's true. Just go enjoy it. And it's an important game if you're going to the game to have a good atmosphere. I tell everybody a lot. Nick Harbor's official visit was the day Carolina lost to Georgia 48-7. But recruits are smarter than you think. They don't react like fans. They think they're going to come in here and winning will take care of itself. They just want people to show up and be supportive. Michael says, upset alert. Good morning, fam. Cyrus says, let's go. Lance is up. Breakfast lattes on deck. I'll hear you, brother. Harrison says, in the words of the HBC, let's give fate a chance. Michael says, play hard, have fun, nothing to lose. Coffee beer discussion. Krager says, had some double espresso vodka in the coffee. Let's go shock the world.
Krager's already getting down. I love it.
Hey, this season will drive you to drink. I mean,
Yeah, it will.
The offense, especially, and I'm not going to talk about the offensive statistic numbers. Just take whatever. I think the highest rating nationally is like 117. There's 134 teams in FBS. So
yeah,
no need to do that. Harrison said, I believe an L today would mark a first in the Beamer era. Up to this point, the Gamecocks have lost exactly 2 games at Williams-Brice each season. Yeah, man, hopefully they win the last 3 and get to a bowl.
Right.
That would be a good day for the Gamecocks. Russell's in the house. Good morning, Russell. Matt's got to catch up on the booze. Krager went back and rocks the rant again. That was classic. Yeah.
My wife watched last night, and she was like, I love him so much.
Dina. Dina, I don't think y'all, personally, I don't think y'all have ever heard me go off like that. I don't really in real life.
No.
It's all entertainment, folks. Harrison said, greatest rant in the history of the show. Matt's got a pork butt going in the smoker. Got some pork belly collards going. Drew says, don't apologize. That was great. Yeah, I'm apologizing to those that, would rather just talk ball. I'm not apologizing to him. I'm apologizing to you guys. And I'm glad those of you that enjoyed it. Right. Michael said it was perfectly said. Krager had the same take as me on Ty Simpson. Yeah, we were all wrong on that. Tristan says, thank you for your rant. Those are some of the best gems of the show. It's all about entertainment, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Eric chimes in. The offense is broken. That's pretty obvious. Says Alabama will win 38-7. That's if we were all in Vegas and playing one of those square games where they have all the scores up, and I think they have that. And I'd put my bingo. I'd maybe put 5 on that one. You're not. I mean, look, it's going to take something surprising. I mean, you can't realistically sit here and I can give a scenario like everything, but 38-7 is just as likely as a win today. So hats off. Pip on a blip says, go fight, win, ass kicked. Lance has now been a club chief member for 13 months.
Woohoo.
And said, congratulations to Lance. It was an epic segment. Michael says, let's have zero negativity, even though it may be ugly. Yeah. And people will leave early if it's out of hand, just like every stadium in the country does.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's fine. It used to be maybe you don't want to leave early, but these days with the traffic and stuff, it's like that everywhere. Krager's also been a member for 13 months.
They've been members in their hearts for longer.
Yeah.
Because they only started 13 months ago.
Harrison says we should all hope Shula and the offense have their best game of the season day and it translates to a win. Not overly confident, but we should all hope that. Yeah, absolutely. Pimp on a Blimps in Hemingway to watch the game. He calls it an ass kick. He's doing he's gonna says it's an ass kicking. Could be. Doc says going to be a great day of games, and it's very fall-like here in Ruffton, North Carolina. Yeah, it's winter-like here. It's 30.
It was in the 40s when we woke up down here. Yeah,
really. The turtle pool froze over this morning. Lucky for me.
No.
The turtle's inside. We took her inside.
Well, they
Roger,
acclimate too, you know. I mean, they.
dude, I'll tell you this: when my wife first got her back, because it's her pet that I've kind of commandeered. It was an outside in the yard turtle pond. They forgot, and she went out and to go out there with an ice pick.
Dig the turtle out.
Rescue. Well, I mean, look, I'll say there's a bunch of turtles that live around here, like in the lakes and ponds and stuff.
Right.
I mean, they have to survive somehow. But what I read was, because our turtle pond in the backyard, the deeper one, it sprung a leak and there was a dead bird in it, and we never got it going this summer. Okay. So she stayed outside in a kiddie pool with a filter, and then we changed the water out and stuff. That's not deep enough. They go deep to hibernate, like under the water. Those suckers can breathe without air for a long, long time. And so that's not deep enough for her to survive a deep freeze. But the old one was. She went out there with a pick. She's like, oh my God. Russell Rooster snapped too on his podcast. Russell says, coming to you from the electric city of Anderson, South Carolina this morning, watch from the house with the family. That's what it's all about, Russell. Every coach should like their job is every coach should coach like their job's on the line today. Show some pride. Yeah, I think the players need to show some pride too, but you're right. I mean, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about the off. I have some hope, like I said earlier this week, if he even changed play callers, nobody would know. I mean, why? And honestly, we shouldn't, because why would you let Bama go? I mean, they're good enough without tipping them off. What also gives me hope on another scale is if Sean Elliott got involved with the run game and they're doing more of his stuff. This Alabama run defense is 82nd in the country. And I'll give my first little stats. Only stat I wrote down for today, Phil. All right, so Oklahoma run defense number 3, Missouri run defense number 7, Vanderbilt run defense number 12, LSU run defense number 41, and Carolina actually ran it statistically well. I wouldn't call that a great running game like some folks want to, but they ran it pretty. That was a consistently good run game. Well, Bama's 82nd. So just by the rankings and numbers, and you look at how they've given up yards and stuff this year, what concerns me more this time around, I don't know. Nothing concerns me more than the offense. Let me back up on that, Phil, because that it would be a lie for me to say.
Right. It kind of goes without saying at this point. Right?
One thing to watch today is the run defense, because just check it out. LSU and Oklahoma were struggling running the football. Right. And they both went for like 166 and 171 against the Gamecocks. Alabama's 103rd in running rush offense this year. Jam Miller is a very capable back, though. They do have an offensive guard that's out. I don't know how that will affect them. But if Carolina allows them to run the ball like LSU and Oklahoma did, it's over. And they won't stop them all day. So run defense has to come back for the Gamecocks. At least I know there's going to be a lot of concern about Ty Simpson, because they'll get into 3rd and 8. I mean, that's what you want to do, is get them into 3rd and obvious passing downs, but these guys convert like crazy and they stay on the field. You can't get them off. Harrison said he's predicting 31-13 Bama. I had 27-10 yesterday, Bama. Lance says, got to get ready for my Gamecock graffiti. Magic City. What's the graffiti number again? Got to write it down because I may be a little drunk. 850.
No, 803.
I'm sorry.
803.
850 is I'm sorry. 850 is Tallahassee, Florida. I don't know why I said that.
850.
Well, they're not having a good year either.
Yeah, 803-250-1297. And I'm gonna post it out. I'm gonna throw it out there on all the socials here. Well, I'll throw it out on all of X here before the game. Like right before the game. Just to remind everybody.
Cyrus said the rant made him feel empowered. Well, I appreciate that. That makes me feel good. Matt has big trouble in Little China, so to speak. I don't know if that's proper, but big trouble with Gamecock women's basketball. They only won by 81 last night. Michael said, I think
we're not going to the tournament.
Michael said, They have a chance. I don't know everything. If they don't throw everything but the kitchen sink, I'd be disappointed. Yeah, I was thinking today about that 19 game against Bama. You know, that Alabama offense. Alabama, Clemson, and LSU had 3 really, really good offenses this year that year in 19, with LSU being the best, obviously. And I appreciated in that game, you know, Will Muschamp, probably way out of his comfort zone. They were aggressive. You know, they faked the punt. They got called back. And if it weren't for a bad call on a Rico Dowdle touchdown before the half, it's sitting there 24-17 at half. I don't think South Carolina had the firepower to win that game, but they played a damn good team off their feet, you know, for a half. And part of that was that aggressive mentality that they had with a freshman quarterback. So now, what do we call aggressive? I think that the best thing to do, given Alabama's playmakers in the secondary and pass rush and blocking and all that, I think maybe it's a fast. What I would do, this is just me, if they could have put in some of the old Georgia State run plays that Elliott likes to run, it's a spread, zone read kind of thing. I'd run that super duper fast like App State used to do. And that is aggressive, even though you're not necessarily throwing it every single down. But yeah, fakes, special teams, trick plays, blitzes, all that. You gotta do something. Eddie's in the house. Morning, JC and Mad Dog, he says. Matt's a 13-month member. So is Pimp on a Blip.
Man,
Thank you. This must be people's anniversary today.
yeah, what is it? Yeah.
Garnett's Lexington, South Carolina. Check it in, Garnet Lovejoy. Happy game day to ITG and ITG Nation as you're back, JC. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I mean, you know, always nice to have people have your back. Not sure that you need it with that dude, but anyway. Michael says 42 degrees in Lexington today. Rooster said coaches and players will come and go, but always be a Gamecock. Bled Garnet Black 52 years, and that will never change. And yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier today when I was like that. Kind of the smack in the face with the answer at the press conference Saturday. And I know, look, I'm not oblivious to the fact it's a heated right after the game question, but I thought it was an obvious question. And I felt like, you know, it wasn't just like he was going after a reporter, which I thought was wrong. To me, I thought he was going after the whole fan base, because that's the first question any of us would have had, including all the fans after that game. And it was asked in a very respectful, nice manner. You know, whereas at the game, obviously, there's video evidence of people expressing themselves in other ways. But yeah, by and large, Rooster, that's, you know, I think a lot of people are just kind of shocked. And I've seen a lot of different types of reactions, like I've talked about this week. Harrison's wearing the same polo hoodie and pants he wore in the Upstate last year. Bryce says, let Sellers call plays today. Not a bad idea. I mean, I started thinking about who all would I have taken over the current play calling situation this year. I came up with names like Kurt Roper, Rob Spence, Dowell Loggins, Art Wilkins. Some of you old timers remember that. You know, not Chuck Reedy, but I mean, that was equally bad, although they scored more points. Brad Scott, John Eason and John Reeves, you know, Lou Holtz, not Skip Holtz. David Reeves, who didn't call plays here, but, you know, Steve Spurrier Jr., who I didn't think was all that gifted at that. Yeah, there's a long list. So, like, that's what's so maddening about it. And I'm not saying if you go from this disaster to like a mediocre play caller, the Gamecocks are all of a sudden going to go up and down the field. But, you know, you don't need a bunch of points. You need enough points this season to win. Michael was at every game in 99 and 2000. 99 to 2000 change and some other things that have happened through the years, folks, where the Gamecocks have it kind of reinforces that many times around this program, not always, and certainly not guaranteeing anything about today, it's always darkest before the dawn. You know, you have the longest losing streak in college football, and the next year you're the talk of college football. You you get shut out basically at Florida in 2022 against a defense that couldn't stop a tortoise. And, you know, only score on special teams, and you come back and put 63 on Tennessee the following week. So Lance says Shula is still the sheet guy, but his theory, I guess, is the sheet was made by Sean and Fury this week, hopefully. Yeah, that's kind of what they do at Satterfield. But look, I think it's different though, because Satterfield could actually fire them in there, in a creative manner. His problem was the buffet was too large. Right. He's like at the Wynn in Vegas. He's going to the Asian station when he just needed to focus on the omelet man and the crab.
That's right. Just stick
to breakfast. You've already had 6 mimosas. Just stick to the breakfast food, sir. No need to go adventuring in the Asian or Latin area.
Listen, that might be the crossover time at Golden Corral might be the perfect comp to how we've seen, because you know what, that breakfast was real delicious, but then 15-20 minutes later, some of those really delicious things that you wanted to go back for seconds are gone, and they've replaced them.
Meatloaf and fried okra.
That's right. And
the spaghetti. Who in the hell eats spaghetti at Golden Corral? I have no idea. But I
think chicken legs are just sitting over there, but you can't get them. I don't understand. It's right there.
Yeah. Michael says all we can do is be positive. Doc wants a competitive game. All this stuff. Listening from Spartanburg, Nicholas is in the Berg. Would just really like to see Lenoris play free like he did in the last year. It'd be a real shame if he can't find that form at some point this season. I think this is an opportunity because Kane Womack's defenses have struggled against dual threat quarterbacks. And if you can run it and your backs, you can run it with him. Who knows? Garnett says most of the drives reserves were in, but the cutter drive at the end of last week felt different. A lot more quick game, seems simplified. Just do it for sellers. Why not? Yeah, not a bad idea, Garnett Lovejoy. Yeah. Pimp says, give me some inspiration here. I'm in the middle of a soybean field looking for a deer. Man, don't shoot Bambi or her mom. I don't know. Deer hunting is necessary because it thins the herd. We almost hit a deer the other night. There's all kinds of deer where I live.
Oh my gosh.
All kinds. Man, I was out there one day and I thought it was like early in the morning. The sun had just come up and I looked out and there was a family, like one with the big antlers and stuff, like a family of deer standing in the thicket out behind my house. And then they looked at me for a minute and just ran away.
Yeah.
Run away. Run away. E.T.'s sick of talking about Mike Shula. Agreed. Lance says G.A. Mangus. Oh, I'd definitely take G.A. I think G.A. is a gifted coordinator. Somebody out there saw the Brooklyn Casey score last night, 58-12. They lost. And they're going to say otherwise, but that's just not true. Yeah. He's really good. Even said if it's a conservative game plan, you can hand over the deed to your house. Here's the thing about conservative versus not conservative. You can run the ball in a non-conservative manner. I wrote this on the Big Spur this morning in Six Pack Saturday. I said, or Saturday Six Pack. I said, Carolina needs to actually run the ball. I mean, go try to do it. Healthy offensive line. You got the number 82. Bama has not proven to be a great run defense. It may not matter, but you got to go at least try it. That said, you can run it aggressively. You can do things to keep them off balance and not be predictable and restricted. If they line up and try to run it out of a tight formation in the middle of the field over and over with Bama having a bunch of guys in the box, it's not going to work. It's just not. And somebody needs to figure that out. That's my opinion. Maybe it does. Who knows? Maybe Bama is just awful against the run, but who knows? Fans are looking at Vandy and Indiana and are frustrated, wondering why the team has gotten behind them the last couple of years. Yeah. Well, they weren't behind Vandy last year, Rooster, at all. Vandy as a program's not. Once Pavia, who knows? Hell, Phil, I think they're going to give him 14 more years of eligibility.
Yeah, right. He's just going to perpetually sue them, and then the courts will be so backed up he can't get to it. So he'll be 30 years old.
If Lenoris leaves, I just go get him out of the portal.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you want to bring the kill zone with you? No.
Yeah, I think that's the key, right? Yeah, I think that's the key.
Nick from Spartanburg says, surprised Shula hadn't tried moving up in the booth. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the answers there. I said over the summer, because I was thinking about this, I was like, well, wait a minute. Everybody just assumes Shula's going to rock and roll. And I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. I just keep going, do what you did last year, call it like Dowell did, and you're going to be fine. But what I said was, long track record coaching quarterbacks. He's an elite quarterbacks coach. The guy can coach. I mean, he was very big in Lenoris getting better last year. But I didn't know as a play caller. You know, he's got the 1 year with the Panthers that everybody hangs their hat on. But other than that, and then on top of that, that's in the NFL. And the plan, if you're going to compare him to Cam Newton, is to run it like, what did they do? What did Cam do at Auburn? That's more applicable than what he did with the Panthers. WGM forces, we need to stop getting OCs off of Temu. Nah, dude, I'd take one off of Temu.
I think a
Get-
Temu OC.
Who in Division II football that doesn't run like the option or wing T is the best coordinator? Give me that guy tomorrow. I'll take it. You know, it's going up. They're going shopping. All right, so here's an analogy. They're trying to wear Tiffany's jewelry to the Beacon. How about that? By the way, Alshon Jeffrey and Melvin Ingram are the celebrity starters today.
Oh,
So
all right.
good as they honor the 2010 team. SC Scout got some scout troop or camping at Dreer Island. We do have a TV Starlink set up for the game. Great.
Nice.
ET says JC versus John Edward and Beamer versus Jack on Monday Night Raw. I thought about that like an analogy for that because they have those AI things like with Helen Keller, like I mentioned. It's like all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, it's G.A. Mangus. He's coming in. like
That's right, I love
Shula's down on the ground. And it's, oh my God, it's G.A. Mangus. Anyway.
Listen,
Michael
if you
says-
start hearing this, run.
Yeah. Rooster points out accurately Vandy in Indiana. Oh my God. Is that? No. Is that? Oh my God. Oh,
Look now.
and the Energy Center's going crazy. It's shooting back. Oh my God, Billy. I can't believe this, Tom. And UCLA, yeah. Jerry Neuheisel, right. Yeah, Vandy in Indiana is causing panic, but that's the problem with college football is everybody freaking panics in real time, and nobody understands that the sport doesn't change a whole lot through the year. Hasn't changed a whole lot roster-wise through the years, but now it has. And so, you know, everybody else, like Texas and all Texas, remember the panic over Texas over the summer? And the fact that everybody was like, they're going to dominate the SEC now. They're here to stay, blah, 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 blah. You think Texas is dominating anybody? One of their players had to literally, and he didn't call out a reporter, but he literally had to say, hey, these are kind of negative questions, but it's hard to win in the SEC. They had just beaten Kentucky in overtime.
Right.
You know? They're out there spending all this money like that's what they've always done. All these teams are winning 4 stars and 5 stars. Florida fired Dan Mullen, who can coach offense, and hired Billy Napier, who cannot at a high level. And because of recruiting. I mean, how many Dan Mullen versus Billy Napier is a coaching mismatch offensively, you know. So yeah, it's causing panic elsewhere. People need to calm down though and understand that, you know, this is a new era. And the great thing about it is a Vanderbilt and Indiana can, if they make the right decisions, and that's hard, as some schools have proven, and that's coaching and players, you know, they make the right decisions, they can win. Some of these guys, like the GM at Florida State, man, how awful is that guy? He prance in there from Oregon State, and he's a GM, and he fires his best guy, and they're all like, we're the mighty 13-0 Florida State Seminoles. How many games in the ACC have they lost in a row at Florida State? Now, Florida State beat this team Carolina's about to play today. So anything can.
Yeah, that seems like a lifetime ago, though. Week 1.
CN says if Lenoris leaves for the NFL, can we get a combo pack like Oklahoma or Vandy? I think you're going to see that more and more. I don't know about what's going to happen at South Carolina. Rooster said bring all of North Texas to Columbia. They aren't playing in the SEC, but they're fun to watch. Yeah, that's a Mike Leach. He coached with Mike Leach.
Air raid style.
Out at whatever that was. The OC from James Madison, they can score. I'd go for the one that used to be at James Madison that's in Indiana. Bob Stoops
Wonder
gave
if
Carolina
Jerry
a chance
Kill's
to
feeling
win.
up to being a coordinator again, though, like legit.
Huh?
I wonder if Jerry Kill's feeling healthy enough to be a coordinator, a full-time
That's risky.
and not just an analyst. I know. Yeah.
Michael said, "Who's Michael? Oh, Ole Miss's OC. Bring that offense here." Lane Kiffin. His OC is Charlie Weiss Jr. I wouldn't touch it. Guy that works for the guy, and his results not when he's with Lane are not great. The problem is Shula can call the same plays as Dowell, but won't be able to call them using the same brain and thought process. Absolutely. I can't read it's in Chinese. So anyway, JC, I went back and watched the A&M game last year. The run plays they dialed up, the pin and pull blocking. Didn't see it this year. But Beamer said they called the same freaking play. Yeah, that's college football. Call the same play over and over until they stop.
Right. That's right. Do it until
they worked on that during the open. I haven't seen that all season.
And then you go back to it in the next half and do it again until they stop it. I mean, it really is simple. Keep it easy. Keep it simple.
Michael says the NCAA is just like the NFL now. You can be 1-10 one year and win a 90 the last if you play your cards right. Yes, it is like the NFL, because some people are going to argue about the NFL offense saying, well, the SEC is just like the mini NFL. Yeah, but again, look at the teams in the SEC that are moving the ball and scoring points, and then look at who's not. The more NFL it is, the less points these teams are scoring.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of that's personnel. I'm smart enough to understand that. But anyway, good Lord. Hey, I heard something funny I want to share before we get to our first segment.
Yeah, man.
It's a comedian. I saw him on Instagram. I don't know his name, but he was like, ever notice now, Phil, in life, in our society, we live like a bunch of petulant princes from 200 years ago.
Yes.
Father, I want the palace to be on 63 degrees. It needs to be cooler in here. Oh, no, yeah, and he mentioned chicken wings because somebody mentioned chicken wings. The clock was Rooster's Wing Place. He goes, I don't want to eat the whole chicken, just the wing. And I want a spicy sauce and cheese from France.
Yes.
I was like, we do. And I was like, I need to check myself a little bit. I mean, my God. Yeah. I mean, we're all spoiled to live in this time that we are living in. Optics says Satterfield or Shula. Man, results wise, I'd rather have Satterfield. Because at least in the games he didn't lose his mind, it was fine. I would take Satterfield with a condensed play sheet and over Shula all day long. Yeah. Because Satterfield never called plays in the NFL. He tried to be an NFL play caller at the college level twice, and that's what blew up in his face. He was an average play caller at Temple and Tennessee Tech and all those other places. So you give him the right idea, and he can fire them in there. It's a reverse problem. I don't think there's anything game plan wise that's wrong. Right. All these plays on the play sheet should work. It's how they're being called. It's the flow of the game. And then to a certain extent, maybe the formations and what it's just a weird thing. Hopefully it's over. Cynical's making wings on an air fryer later. Rough times.
Hey, all right.
So let's get to that. What's on the menu? Tell us what you're having today. Many of you already have. Me and Phil will share that. It's our first segment on the Tailgate Show.
What's on the menu? The game is soon. We may do a breakfast casserole if the Cocks kick off at noon. If you are traveling or at the bar or at the stadium eating out your car, we'd like to know, what do you have looming? What's on the menu? What you got cooking?
All right. What's on the menu? I don't know. We kind of up in the air around here today, JC. I bought a pack of hot dogs. I thought I might do a little hot dogs this afternoon.
Yummy.
Yeah, and then I don't know. Not entirely sure, but
You know,
it probably will be hot dogs and a homemade chili.
just like NFL play calling, there's rules about hot dogs in Chicago.
Yeah.
You don't put ketchup on it. Chili's allowed for a chili cheese dog. You got to boil it. You can't grill it. Otherwise, it's called a char dog. And then you've seen the Chicago dogs, how they make them. They put a pickle and tomatoes and onions and relish on them. It's actually tasty. It's really good. But you can't grill them. You got to boil them in Chicago. But since you're in Taylor's, you do whatever the heck you want.
That's right. Yeah. But we usually defer.
This is my house.
That's right.
I pay the bills in this.
I'll fry my sausage how I want to.
You come over here and burn down the backyard every 4th of July. Lance says Cutter Woods is a winner. I like that guy. I do.
Yeah, man.
I think he's going to be a good quarterback. Doc says pork butt in my smoker since last night. We got Mexican cornbread, cheese muffins, blue cheese, buffalo chicken dip. Hallelujah. Lance says beer. Scout guy, eggs, bacon, and venison sausage cooked by a 9 and 12-year-old this morning. That's great. They did a great job. Venison steaks for lunch with sweet corn on the cob. That's great. And again, shout out to
that's where we said we are Scout guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Scout guy, dude. He's really good. Doing that for those kids is awesome. You're teaching them about life. Rogers is eating nothing. Hunger strike till she was Bryce says wasn't thrilled about Shula at first, never thought it would be so worse than Satterfield. I thought no worse than I thought about like Dowell. That's what I thought. That's why I was for it. I thought, well, they'll keep it rolling and he'll get Lenoris to, just by natural development to, some of those things last year where he would maybe escape the pocket or his footwork wasn't right. They'd get that out of him. That's what everybody thought. I don't know that anybody saw like the offense completely changing and becoming what it is, which is all roads lead to NFL style of play. And NFL guys too, it's the dogma of no. Like in the NFL, you better understand what you cannot do more so than what you, and in college, it's all about what you can. Does that make sense? Like you'll hear, can't run that in the NFL. I mean, there's some things you shouldn't do in the SEC, but every time somebody says that, Mike Leach doesn't score 70 a game, but he moved the ball and scored enough points. Urban Meyer, they were like, you can't run that spread option in the SEC. And they, frankly, Phil, until the 2006 SEC championship game, they didn't score over 30 points in a single SEC game. Well, they won the national championship that year, and away they went. Everybody said when Spurrier came in, you couldn't do it. Everybody said Josh Heupel's offense wouldn't work. So there's this dogma of no around the SEC that's factually inaccurate when you look at those stats. Now, a bad spread offense will get you beat quicker than anything. If you got a moron out there spreading it out and trying to run a college offense that can't do it, yeah, that's going to hurt you because you're not going to be able to stay on the field. But this NFL, you don't have to have an NFL offense. So that's kind of what I'm saying.
No.
Harrison said there was a theory that Shula started calling plays after the Ole Miss game. Yeah, that wasn't true. CCC China Rider says deli sliders, sauerkraut beers, THC gummies. Yes, that's awesome. Haynes making cheeseburger sliders and homemade floppy chips. All that good stuff.
Floppy chip sounds good.
Rooster said, I had blood pressure medicine and a shot of Maker's Mark because the Gamecocks are playing football today.
That's how I start every morning, Rooster.
Harrison said not that Dowell was elite, but a lot better than most give him credit for. Yeah, he was. He actually, but he was coming at it from a different angle. He left pro football after 20 years as coordinator, went and did an analyst job at Penn State, went and coached tight ends at Arkansas, and he had 3 or 4 years to kind of look at like, okay, when I wanted to I want to become a coordinator, he had 3 or 4 years to. The thing that he did that was NFL-esque was he would get conservative when they had a lead, and it almost cost the Gamecocks.
Yeah,
a
he'd
couple
take
of
his
times.
foot off the gas.
Take his
pedal,
foot
yeah.
off the gas,
And you
and
can't
that was
do that in college, right?
yeah. And then
But it
I
was
think
different, like with Dowell, JC, it felt like when he came from the NFL, because most of these guys who come from the NFL, it feels like, here, we're going to show them how the big boys do it. But with Dowell, it was more like, I'm going to immerse myself into this side of the game, truly as if he understood same sport, different game, right?
he wants to be the head coach at Arkansas, or okay. I mean, he and his family made a career change. They're back in college football. Shula, back in college football, actually, and like I said, did a lot of good with Sellers last year. He's always been more of a quarterback's coach than a play caller, and this is just unbelievable what happened. I mean, so hopefully they've tried to adjust that.
Yeah.
Chaco's in the house. Good morning, team. He says, all right, so uniforms, do we have anything yet, Phil?
I think it's white garnet. That's not official, but I think
that's what I do.
That's what I do too. I mean, if you're ever going to have an opportunity to do it, now's the time.
The big game garnets, like in 2010, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, well, let's go ahead and do the uniform report.
It's the highlight of our day before our cocks go out to play. What are we gonna wear? What are we gonna wear? Will it be garnet? Will it be black? Will it be both or a throwback? It doesn't matter, but they say you must look good when you go play. So what are we gonna wear today? Will it be garnet?
All right.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I'm looking. Yeah,
No, it's not on there.
Yeah, nothing officially
Lance
released.
wants black face mask with the white helmet.
I'd be down with that.
I'd be down with that. Black, white. Bring back white, garnet. Yeah, those are in Spur era. They were called big game garnets. Now, because they wore those in a lot of big games at home, including the 2010 win over Alabama. And I do hope they bring those back today. Those would look kind of sharp, in my opinion, in the afternoon. Wake up the echoes, Phil, so to speak.
That's right.
Now, I'll tell you, a sharp-looking uniform would be if they brought back the George Rogers throwback garnets and did the white helmet with the George Rogers, maybe the George Rogers helmet with
the stars on it.
The all garnet with that combo would be sweet.
Yeah.
But I'll settle for the Spurrier era Carolinas, and all that good stuff. All right. So we got some good news in our next segment.
Yeah.
The injury report.
Injury. He's got a shoulder, hip, or knee. So we will see what's up with these injuries. Will we have a healthy team? The coach played coy and it's just a dream. Who will see the field today? Who is gonna play?
All right. On our side, it's just Case and Henry is out. And that's it.
Yep.
Everybody else is available. That's
the guys out for the year. Jalen Brown, Caleb Williams, those guys.
Yeah.
Zabari Sandy, they're out. Alabama got some good news. Gino Vandemark is probable now.
Yeah.
Quay Russell, Jay Marion Latham, Caden Jones. Those guys have been out for a while. The significant ones for Bama, Danny Lewis, who's their number 2 tight end, is out.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Beeman, he's a D. I don't know much about. I think he's been on the list too. I think, and then their number 4 receiver, Lozier Brooks, is out for the game. But they've got other receivers, obviously. So Carolina's healthy, ready to go. They didn't catch a break with the starting offensive guard out. And so there you go with that. So it's a good day to get healthy, I think, if you're the Gamecocks. All right, so what we're going to do, Nana Sports chat box. Cynical says, obvious what an OC has tunnel vision and forgets he's calling a college offense. Yeah, this has happened all year, in my opinion, all year. It hadn't changed. Nothing's changed. Hopefully they change it. You know, what was the 2008 election, the theme of that, the hope and change?
Hope and change.
I didn't want to write that because a lot of people didn't really
Get the wrong
vote that way that year, but
right.
but Carolina needs some hope and change. So fired up, ready to go. You know, just try to stay away from politics. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to come back on the other side with one small thing. So be thinking of your petty thing you're going to do today to get the Gamecocks going. I have an idea of mine.
I think I got mine inspired by the chat box today.
Outstanding. And then we're going to play Magic Mike or Mike from the Magic City or whoever on Gamecock Graffiti. And I'm sure that'll be hilarious. And then wrap it up with one big thing, keys to the game, and send you guys on your way here on the Tailgate Show. We'll be back after this.
Morning, Carl. Usual?
Yeah.
Your oldest was in here the other day. Said the two of you took a trip down to my neck of the woods. How'd that go?
You might as well give me one of those Carolina cars while you're at it.
I knew I liked that one.
Yeah.
There you go, my friend.
Thanks.
Hey, Carl. Congratulations.
See you tomorrow, Freddie.
You bet.
Mike here for one of the better dining options in the capital city. You know, when I first moved there, I asked people around the radio station, where are the best wings? Well, the consensus was D's Wings. That was then. Today, they still have the best wings, but it's so much more now in their new location at 415 Meeting Street in West Columbia. Yeah, they get voted the best wings on a routine basis. Yes, they get voted the best sports bar on a routine basis, but they're not just about wings, and really, they're not just a sports bar. It is a family-run local restaurant and bar with 20 TVs and 25 beers on tap. And how about these daily specials? Every Monday night at D's, you've got 75-cent wings from 4 until closing. Tacos on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, 18 wings and a pitcher of beer for $29. You've also got ribs and oyster bucket specials on Thursday. And no matter how big the party is, 20 or more, no problem. Just call ahead of time and they'll take terrific care of you. They'll do takeout as well. And guess what? A human will answer the phone and take the order. Billy and his staff do an outstanding job. Check out D's 415 Meeting Street in West Columbia.
I hope our jerseys aren't too loose and cocky turns to the east from the cockaboose. Hope the mini mart has that lucky German beer in on TV. They show 2001 and our elite pregame atmosphere. These things really might seem sort of petty. Damn it, they're the things that get me ready. One small thing helps me feel good about the game. One small thing, not the game plan, heat or rain. I have to go and wash my lucky socks before I can feel good about the Cocks. One small thing helps me feel good about the game. One small thing, not the game plan, heat or rain.
All right, the Tailgate Show rolls on with our one small thing here, JC. And here, mine, as inspired by a one Lance player in the chat box, I'm going to go get me some Coors Banquet because I think that might bring it home for us today, boys. Just grab you a Coors and come on down to the office. Let's talk some ball.
Dude, Yeah, you got it right. You know who drinks Coors Banquet?
Yes, sir.
Head ball coach. By God.
My God.
Yeah, well, shoot, Mad
Well,
Dog. You really like those Coors.
listen, if you
Remember
got an extra one, just throw one over here. to
in
me.
2013 when Spurrier did the TV show and people thought he was hammered doing it. And he was obviously a little hungover.
Right, yeah.
Here's how you handle now, that's an uncomfortable question. To me, that's nobody's damn business, right? If Spurrier, was having a struggling morning like 97% of everybody out there that drinks beer at times.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, as we know, we struggled in that game down there at UCF, and as to whether or not, as to whether or not we, like most coaches do, I had a few beers after the game. Well, I'll just, none of them, not anybody's business. Next question. I love that. I'm not going to wear a visor today because I got to go to this funeral anyway. So
There you go. There you
back
go.
my hair. So going to change it up. No visor today, and see if the Gamecocks. Like it's the reverse Spurrier. You don't wear a visor, so maybe that'll happen. So we'll see. All right, so let's get to Mike from Magic City, and then we'll do one big thing and get out of here.
That's right. Magic City Mike queuing it up here. There we
What's
go.
up, fellas? I don't know if y'all gonna get to this message or not, but man, I called to just provide a little bit of some happiness, some cheer. And let me tell you now, this is Mike from the Magic City, which is Florence, home of Lenore Sellers, the Clemson mortician. But check this out, man. Guys, everybody is so negative right now. Do y'all not understand how we do this Gamecock narcotic? On Mondays, we fuss, we suck. Tuesdays, man, I just don't know what we're going to do. Wednesdays, well, maybe we did this right. Maybe if something, I don't know. We're still going to lose. Thursday, well, they might have had a good practice. I'm sure they talked it out. I'm sure they figured some things out. And by Friday, that Gamecock narcotic then got us high again. So I'm not saying we're going to win, but I think we might look a little bit better on Saturday, fellas. I mean, to be honest, you got rid of your offensive line coach, You got some people back on the offensive line. I mean, I think that might help. James Beamer's team typically, they get better as the year goes on. I mean, I think that's really one thing you got to look at when it comes to, you want to measure things every year. Around late October, early November, for some odd, strange reason, Gamecocks just get hot. So I don't know. Maybe I hit the narcotic a little too high. I don't know. But, man, it's going to be a fun one to watch, fellas. Thank you.
No, thank you, Magic
That
City
was
Mike.
amazing. But he nailed it too. The Gamecock. Right. That's what happens.
That's I had to play it today. I was like, need to get this one in, man.
There's not a single person listening and a single Gamecock alive out there. Maybe a couple of people that aren't. They won't admit it, but they're happy because the Gamecocks are playing football today against Alabama.
Right.
They're happy. They feel better than you do. You feel better than Sunday and Monday. That's the vicious cycle. But I'll tell you this about the Gamecocks and everybody else, folks. You're not alone. You're not alone. Some schools, and it's happened here, like in 2020, when a coaching change or coaching termination is, or retirement, as it was with Spurrier, when that's inevitable, sometimes then it's just like, okay, I'm just ready to heck with the game. Me and the wife, the day of the Ole Miss game when Muschamp got fired the next day, we drove to Wisconsin and just made it back right before kickoff and watched. I didn't get emotional at all.
Yeah, sometimes, you just realize, well, this is not going to be good.
Yeah. So, and so that's what happened there. But the game, yeah, it's everybody's got that narcotic. And like I said, there's only 12 of these that are guaranteed. And hell, unfortunately, Gamecocks may only play 12 this year if things don't turn around. But thank you, Mike from Magic City. I'm going to have how I am with names. I'm going to have a hard time not calling him Magic Mike from the city or something like that.
Well, it's funny, like he ended up calling twice, and the first one was only like 6 seconds long, and he was Magic City Mike, and I was like, all right, okay, cool. And then it was like Mike from Magic City.
Mike
in
from
the second one.
City.
Yeah,
That's
Magic
awesome,
City.
dude.
Yeah, it doesn't
Florence,
matter, man. I
South
didn't
Carolina.
realize Florence was called the Magic City.
It is. I think New Orleans maybe is. There's other Magic cities too.
There's got to be other ones, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna Google that real quick.
Yeah, I just
All right,
hope it's also not on that Falcons narcotic, which could be a rough go.
Miami is called the Magic City.
Well, yeah.
Atlanta had a strip club called Magic City. So it's Miami, not Birmingham, Alabama, the Magic City. Florence. Well, Anderson's called the Electric City.
Yeah. The Electric City. I don't know. Kind of crazy.
But anyway, UGA and Clemson have a bye week, so his idiot friends decided to have a fall wedding. This is Meso. He predicted 35-13 tied 28-7 last week, and he was nearly right. Yeah. Unfortunately, these scores I've been predicting have been close to the final.
Yeah.
Be nervous.
I didn't make a prediction this week. Not going to. Don't care.
I did 27-10 Alabama.
Yeah.
That's how much.
I'll give you one. 35-21. And I'll
Carolina, 35-21. Anyway, all right. So let's wrap it up here. And it's the Tailgate Show. Don't forget, tomorrow the boys will be back with Rooster Rant, rain or shine, SEC Sunday night. You can also catch the Late Night Gamecock Show / Rooster Rant on podcast now. Apple, please go subscribe, give it 5 stars, all that good stuff. 4-Quarter Friday, you're home for high school sports in South Carolina, not just football. They're starting to branch out a little bit. That's also on podcast, and also SEC Sunday night is on podcast form. Now we have all those for those that consume our content, for lack of a better term, on Apple and Spotify and things like that. So please go do that. Even if you don't listen that way, do us a solid. If you have a podcast app on your phone, and go hit subscribe. Turn off the notifications if you don't listen that way, and rate it 5 stars for us. Thank you so much. All right. Plimp on a Blimp gives his final prediction, 41-10 Bama. Not shocked. But we love Pimp on a Blimp, and hope you bag a big one today, my friend.
Yeah, man.
Out there. And the people from Florence are calling it Flowtown. So
yeah,
Flowtown magic. So thank you so much, Mike, for that phone call. That's going to live in show. That's actually I'm probably going to break that out.
Break out that, yeah.
Very rarely can we use Tailgate Show stuff for breakouts because it's timely, but I'm going to use that because that's a Gamecock narcotic, brother.
That's right.
All right, let's get it out of here.
It's time, get real, JC, and feel. One big thing about today's Carolina game. One big thing, some of them are all the same.
All right. One big thing, JC. Here, listen, mine's real simple, and it sounds oversimplified, but it's something that the Gamecocks have struggled to do and are not on a good path regarding points. You need points. You got to score points. You got to take what they give you, especially early. If you get down there and you're down 7 and you're 20 yards away from the end zone and it's 4th down, just kick it, take the 3 and live to play another down, because that's a 10-point swing if they drive it down the field and score a touchdown. And you don't need that. You don't need any of that mess. Just score points today. Find a damn way.
I'm going to say toughness. This Alabama team, they don't play with the physical edge that we think about when it comes to like Saban's teams, but they are very physical and in a different way. And you've got to just take the fight to them and get them reeling. They're a team that's played 4 straight ranked opponents before South Carolina. Carolina actually did have an open date kind of in there for a little bit before LSU. I mean, Carolina's getting healthy. Just play with toughness, especially on the offensive line. This team statistically is not at the level of the 4 teams that beat Carolina this year. And the better you can run the ball today, And I will not back down to say that it's got to be a creative way to run it, which means stop bringing everybody into the box and slamming it up in there. But if they do that, and if they do more of the Elliott stuff, which I believe they worked on, then we could see something good happen. Because the better you can run the ball, Phil, that keeps Ty Simpson and Bama's offense off the field and rest the Carolina defense. What Bama did to Vandy,
right?
They just wore him down, and in the fourth quarter, they started handing it to Jam Miller, and they did run the ball on Vandy because Vandy was dead tired. That could happen today if Carolina, God forbid they struggle to stop the run from the beginning. But if Carolina can't run the ball and they got a bunch of 3-and-outs, the defense is all over the field, it's going to be ugly. Bryce says 31-14 Bama. Cynical wants everybody to play like ball. I agree. Latte Lance says 48-28 Carolina. Scout says Florence has been the Magic City since the early 1990s.
I might have to look into that whole Magic City.
That's great.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. McJunkin. The McJunkin from the McJunkin Klein. 37-24 Gamecocks. Michael says 24-21 Cox. And with that, Doc accurately says bunched up formations get your linemen hurt too. Yeah, they do, don't they? Yeah. I don't understand. I see the high school level too. I mean, I guess everybody went so spread crazy for a while, and defense has figured it out. Well, I got news for some of these people. It makes it a hell of a lot easier on defense when you're in there having not only your linemen bunched all together, but having them pull and slide and do 18 different ballerina movements. You're not blocking anybody. And that's not just Carolina. That's everybody else too. Like Cole Kublik's right about slide protection. It sucks. You can do that. You have to do it. It's one of those things in the NFL you have to do. Not anyway.
No, I don't like slide protection with the long play. That's the thing that kills me.
Said, quick game's fine to do it with. But I mean, bunching everybody in there like that, and then having the, you don't bunch everybody in there like that. Let's get a man on mano a mano and fire off the ball, try to kick somebody's ass. It's so stupid.
Watch this team.
You're bunched on. It's like you're doing a dance routine or a ballet, but you have all the ballerinas right there together. You have to expand and make it pretty, Phil.
That's right. Yes.
It's to go and bloom like a flower. Like Todd Monken's offense at Georgia, they started tight and bloomed. You have to bloom if you're going to do that.
Bloom.
Carolina's not blooming.
No.
I'm going to get off of here.
It's getting nipped in the bud.
Before I put my tutu on and start dancing around play the song Dancing Nancy's. All right. Folks, Chaco says Magic City documentary on Prime. Watch it. It's a good TV episode, a TV recommendation. Appreciate all you folks tuning in on the Tailgate Show. We'll see you next week. Who knows? Maybe something good happens today. We can only hope, but go have fun. Regardless, you guys deserve it. Like I said, we wait all year for game days, and it's special. You gotta keep believing. Don't stop believing. See you later.
Stop
believing.